What's going on, everybody? This is Jeff with Altcoin Buzz coming to you live from Barcelona, Spain. Checking in with you guys. It's been a while. I haven't actually checked in with you guys since Milan, Italy. I was in the Greek islands down there by, the Greek islands, as you would imagine, don't have very much internet. Like when you go to the Greek islands, you don't think about how you can plug into the internet. I tried. What's up, guys? There we go. We got them all. Here it comes. Gang's coming in. All crypto gangs in the house right here. All right, so crush up the likes. Do me that favor, and let's kick this thing off. So some of you guys were saying, Jeff, man, where the heck has Jeff been? What's going on? What's up with this guy? Is he not streaming anymore? What's he doing? And I've just been pounding pavement, boots on the ground. I got to explore the world. I hope you guys all get to do that too. I mean, sometimes you got to get out there and do that. I've waited all my life to be able to do this, and I'm going to do it, and I'm doing it, and I'm going to continue to do it. But this is part of the reason that got me into cryptocurrency. I hope you guys understand that traveling and a global viewpoint in finance is very important. So don't think that I'm abandoning you guys or abandoning cryptocurrency or anything like that. I'm literally totally doing research. I'm boots on the ground doing things that I got to do. I got to see the world. I got to get it. It's one thing to watch the news, but it's another to see it. And that's what is going to help me as a cryptocurrency investor and a cryptocurrency analyst when I say, hey, we need to bring cryptocurrency to sub-Saharan Africa. I need to go to Africa and know what that means. I can't just say, hey, yeah, let's go bring cryptocurrency to sub-Saharan Africa, but I've never been to Africa. You see what I'm saying? So if I'm going to talk about the EU or China and I've never been there, I've only got like a very clouded viewpoint on that. Thanks to everyone who's crushing up their likes. We're at 15. So we're going to crack this thing off. Mike says, what's up from Sweden? I hope Sweden beats England, by the way. Really. Oh, yeah, man, I got the lobster tan going. Man, oh my gosh, I got fried in Greece, but today I got really cooked because I didn't wear any sunscreen and I was in the heat all day. Like, I worked so hard today because, I was filming. By the way, you guys asked me why I invested in GoPro stock. Well, I've dropped this thing like 10 times. It's still going and it's done a quality job and it still works really good. So I know people don't like GoPro products, but I mean, this thing has been super reliable. It's very easy to use. So that's why I invest in GoPro. I know people like, oh, the GoPro drone sucks, blah, blah, blah. But hey, I'm totally a happy consumer of GoPro, like whatever. Anyway, so yeah, man, my hair is like, I mean, I've been getting just sun. Jeez, man. Like just so much color, like the sun, bleach blonde. I mean, that's what happens when you get a lot of hair, sun. Anyway, so what's going on with the market, right? Like, I mean, we saw that we just saw some news about the banks. I'm not going to say any banks because I don't want to put the exact bank name out there, but banks building infrastructure for coins. To those of you who've been following me on Twitter, you already know. But like I tweeted out just earlier on Blockchain J, I said banks building infrastructure is really positive for cryptocurrency, infrastructure for coins. The thing that people are starting to become more concerned about is the same thing that I was talking about, is like Ripple, okay? And I hold Ripple and I'll invest in Ripple, but Ripple keeps going on this narrative. They say, oh, XRP and Ripple are different, but why do they keep pushing that? Like, okay, is Ethereum and ETH different? Is Bitcoin and BTC different? No. So why is Ripple so big on, oh, XRP is different than Ripple? Because what if Ripple starts trying to go down this path of becoming an IPO? So you have an ICO, initial coin offering, and then you have an IPO, an initial public offering. So what if Ripple tries to become a stock? Okay. That's going to open a whole nother, that's like opening Pandora's box. That's bad for the asset class. And if they try to do that, then what ends up happening is the stock market, NASDAQ, just takes all of the blockchain technologies and just moves it over to the stock market. And then, the asset class of crypto goes away. Now, I'm not trying to spread FUD, but that's the the thing we've got to be really cautious about with Ripple is that, are they going to try and become an IPO? And if they do, what would that mean for the asset class? And I don't think it would be too positive. And that's kind of the thing that we have to keep an eye on. That's real shady behavior, because what ends up happening then is all of us who invested in cryptocurrency, Bitcoin and altcoins, you know, Ethereum and all that. Oh, we help get all excited, prove some stuff for Wall Street, Nasdaq, and then they just steal the technology and run off with it, and then they crush the asset class. Now, why am I talking about this? Right? You guys are like, hey, what the heck? Okay, see, Crypto J says, why are you spreading FUD, guys? There's a big difference between FUD and being pragmatic. Okay, you guys have to learn this. If you don't, I know a lot of you guys already know this, and many of the older people who got wisdom and stuff, they're always saying, Jeff, don't preach to me. I don't come onto this channel to get preached at. But when someone says that spreading FUD to be pragmatic and to have contingency outlooks, contingency plans, meaning like plan A, plan B, plan C, you have to have that kind of outlook, because if plan A fails, what's going to happen with plan B, right? You do that with girls. I mean, if it's mostly the young guys, like, the young kids, they're like, well, you're spreading FUD. Like, the whole thing of spreading FUD got played out. It's not FUD if you're analyzing things and you're setting forth contingencies. So, yeah, Lincoln, man, I'm very sunburned today. Crypto J says he's totally kidding. Laughed my butt off. Yeah, it's, but I say that because this whole idea of FUD, it was just like with Electronium. Many of us in the community, we caught wind that Electronium just wasn't carrying the weight that we thought they were. We'd listen to Richard Ells and he would talk this big game. And then all of a sudden, we saw that their website wasn't up to snub and some of the stuff wasn't going on with Electronium. And we called it out and people thought that was FUD. No, what it was, it's like your coworker at work, right? If they're not doing a good job and like you notice it and some other people start noticing it and you're like, I'm bullish on this guy getting fired pretty soon. I'm bearish on the fact that he's going to have a job for very long. It's kind of like you see things kind of, when things start kind of lining up, that's what happens, right? Thanks to everyone who's crushed up the likes. We're at 30. Let's keep pumping them likes, baby. Pump them damn likes up so we can get this thing out to the community. We already got 172 people. And if you're not getting notified when these come out, you got to turn on that bell and you'll get notified when these live feeds come up. Jeff got me into BitConnect. I lost my horses and goats. Yeah, I never really talked about BitConnect ever, but I feel bad that you lost your horses and your goats. I feel like, what's that book in the Old Testament where they talk about like Job, where you got wealth in your livestock, right? Anyway, so Lincoln says, you have a great facial structure. Thanks, man. Okay. Anyway, so let's talk about some of this stuff with the market. We're going to dial in here on coin market cap and some of the coins that I've been tweeting about. And I say that because that was the only way I was able to get out any information from Greece. You guys know I like Bitcoin private. You guys are asking me why I like Bitcoin Cash. And so it's not that I like Bitcoin Cash or that I like Bitcoin Cash more than Bitcoin. It's just I also invest in Bitcoin Cash as I do with Bitcoin. It's kind of like this. I'm like this with them. It's like, which way are we going to go? But I'll hold both. But it's just easier to accumulate Bitcoin Cash at 728 than it is to accumulate one full Bitcoin at 6568. Yes, I have one full Bitcoin. I have multiple Bitcoin Cashes because, and I still hold a ton of altcoins, and we'll see. I mean, I'm kind of preparing for. I'd be happy if at least half of my altcoins pulled out, and I'd be happy if one or two of them ended up really running hard. Which that's kind of my guess. It's like you know how Silicon Valley venture capitalists invest, right? They'll invest in 100 companies, so they'll take $100 million and put a million seed into each startup, right? All they're looking for is the next Facebook. If that $1 million seed turns into the next Facebook, that $1 million seed far exceeds that $100 million investment. And that's kind of where I'm putting my altcoin positions. I'm saying, well, I mean, like I said, I'd like to think that 25 out of 50 of them, or half of them, pull out and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times, 10 times gains at some point, which will offset some of my picks that were not so stellar. Stellar. Speaking of stellar, how's stellar looking? 20 cents. Anyways, so we're at 50 likes. Wow, you guys pumped up them likes. So Europe, largest ETF trader trading cryptos, breaking news. Good. It's good to see some of these. There is absolutely no reason why the cryptocurrency market and asset class should not exist a long time into the future. It absolutely makes sense. Obviously, old people, Buffett, some of these old people, they just don't like it. They resist it. We just talked about Ripple, but there's absolutely the whole reason we invest, or myself in particular, I can't speak for you individually, but the whole reason I invest in cryptocurrency is because it just absolutely makes sense. I mean, e-cash, Milton Friedman called on it in the 90s. It just makes sense, right? So digital crypto kitties almost broke ETH blockchain. I don't, if you guys, okay. And dude, I am totally cool with you guys liking crypto kitties. I'm the wrong guy to talk to about crypto kitties. I don't see myself doing crypto kitties. I don't care if a crypto kitty could cost me 50 cents and could become worth $1 million. I probably have no interest in crypto kitties. I'm the wrong guy to ever talk about crypto kitties with. Like I said, I realize it could be a massive investment. There are people on Altcoin Buzz, and that's why we have a team. We have a lot of people on our team because it's more than just me. But some of them are invested in crypto kitties, and those are the people that you'll ask questions about crypto kitties. Granny's gone wild. You are looking more and more like Trump by the day. I look nothing like Trump. Your word, because they couldn't even handle a little kiddies game. Well, yeah, I get what you're saying. You're saying, well, the blockchain was so weak, but we're still going through those growing pains. We're gonna have to. We're not done with growing pains for a couple years. It could be 5 years of having to deal with growing pains. Even if you look at the internet in general, the internet really became mainstream in the late 90s. Even today, the internet, I can't even get full Wi-Fi in most places that I'm at to stream. So there's going to be growing pains that are going to continue for decades with all techs. Look at the cell phone. I use Verizon. They were once the greatest cell phone company ever, and nowadays it's like they've gotten worse with the data. Blockchain. Yeah, this little game. I see what you're saying, Drew, and you're right, man. For real, you're right. It's just one of the things. Clayton says, you look like Donald Trump, a man version. Oh, gosh. Come on, man. Why we got to? You guys already hate when I even talk about Trump. I already told you, yes, I think Trump is doing a good job. I do. I also thought Obama did a pretty good job on a lot of things. I'm the type of guy that when I was in the Navy, or when I was in the military, if someone said they were going to assassinate the president, Obama at the time, I was pissed off. I was like, no, you're not going to assassinate our president. And I have the same kind of feeling about this president. It does me no good to fight, resist, or challenge the presidency. It does me no good. Okay, so like I said positive things about Obama. I say positive things about Trump. It does me no good to be a jerk. You're not going to hear me say assassinate Obama. Or you're not going to hear me say anything about assassinate Trump. It's not how I roll. And you guys trying to talk politics is going to piss everyone off. More like a cross between Will Ferrell and Donald Trump. Okay, thanks, Titus. Whatever. Oh, I do like Will Ferrell's. Well, I better not say this, but whatever. I'll say it anyway. Boats and Hoes. I like that song, Boats and Hoes. You guys got to check out Island Hopper TV. I've been posting some videos over there for those of you guys who like to travel. On Twitter, you could check it out, Island Hopper TV. But okay, guys, stop talking about Trump. I'm thinking about buying more Bitcoin private. So who asked me that? He said, what are you buying next? Dwayne Ford just asked that. I said, I'm thinking about buying some uh, more Bitcoin private. Yes. I'm also liking Cardano. I'm not too excited about Charles Hoskinson lately. He's like one of the things that him and Craig Wright do is they say, "Oh, I'm a billionaire." Like it's just poor taste to talk about how they're a billionaire. It just I'm not really interested in hearing about that. And when they do that, it kind of turns me off from everything they're doing. But I still like Cardano as a project. But Cardano's still got a lot of work to do, and I think I'm wondering if Charles is really leading or if he's just kind of slacking off, thinking that because he made a because once what happens when someone makes $1 billion, they just kind of do they're like we made it, they give up, like not give up. It's like they either do one of two things: they become like Elon Musk or they become like a bum, or they retire early, you know. And one of the things that happens when someone's working on a shoestring budget is they've got a long they're working every single day because their back is up against the wall, so they're always pumping. But once they reach $1 billion, they don't have that fire that burns them unless they're like Elon Musk, which is like, hey, all right, I got a car company, I need a space company, I need a hyperloop, I need a renewable energy company in Solar City, and oh shoot, I need to create a cryptocurrency. That's Elon Musk, right? So Charles Hoskinson does not strike me as an Elon Musk kind of guy. Vitalik, I'm more bullish on Vitalik. So yeah, I would say I already hold a lot of Ethereum from way back when, but so it's really hard for me to buy Ethereum at this price compared to where it was when I first stepped into Ethereum, well below 300. So I haven't really accumulated much Ethereum, but I like Vitalik. So, I mean, if you haven't already gotten some Ethereum, maybe you could consider that. But at these prices, like I said, I like Bitcoin private. Um, I look, if you haven't already thought about getting in, if you don't have a Bitcoin, maybe you can look at Bitcoin Cash because it's one of those things. One or two of them are going to end up. I think they're both going to end up being something at some point. So, and I just say that because if you look at the people behind Bitcoin Cash, as sleazy as they've been, because I'll say they have been sleazy as a community. Some of the stuff they did, they took over the Bitcoin Twitter and would tweet about Bitcoin Cash stuff. But there's some legitimacy to Bitcoin Cash in my opinion. Binance Coin, of course, I like Binance Coin. It's been a strong coin to hold, and I also like SafeX. I thought SafeX has just been a tremendously safe investment. They say SafeX has been in the safe harbor throughout all of this. But what happens is people get on the bandwagon, and then everyone becomes, and then all of a sudden things kind of, fall off. We saw that with Verge. We saw that with Tron. So it's kind of like you want to be on board kind of early before everyone starts to, jump on the bandwagon kind of thing. All right, let's see what's going on. Funfair Kanda says terrible market. Bossman says credits is trash. Okay, sounds like a lot of you guys are going through some hard times. Probably still dealing with the buying high in January, February, which sucks. And it's not funny. A lot of times, all we can do is laugh about it. But it was a painful period. I mean, we watched the market come off $800 billion, to 200 billion here. And some of these coins have been absolutely destroyed. Credit's probably one of them, but but you can't. I'm a believer. You can't give up just because, like I was saying earlier, with the whole Silicon Valley approach is they'll invest $1 million. They'll invest $100 million, $1 million seed in 100 different companies, hoping that one of them becomes the next Google, the next Facebook. And that's kind of an approach you can take with crypto. Is like, which ones do you think are going to succeed? And that's why they say do your research. Research these projects. Get to know the CEO. See if this person has. See if they do things. And if you're going to take some risks, realize, hey, this thing could go to zero. Like you're going to take a risk. It was like what happened with what was that one coin that we Ember coin. Remember we made that video. We said, hey, this is a gamble. I put in what $25 in Litecoin or something like that. And I said to everybody this, but it went way up, right? I mean, but we all knew, everyone who invested and watched that video at the time was like, oh man, this could go, we could lose our $25. I mean, it's like when you're betting on the World Cup and you're parlaying on the Super Bowl or whatever, and you're like, I'm going to bet $25, but I could lose it all. I mean, that's a bet, that's a gamble. But if you do your research, that's more of an investment strategy, because you're like, hey, I see, I'm connecting the dots, I'm lining up the stars here, and I see some value long term with this because this person has a track record, that they're hungry, they're motivated, they've got a good tech, I like their idea, they've got a lot of things going for it, I believe in crypto long term. That's how you invest. If you're gonna do half cock research, realize that's more of a gamble than an investment. Jason says Jeff got burned. Face is a bit red too. Yeah, dude. I've talked about that a couple times on this video, but yes, I've been in Barcelona not wearing any sunscreen all day. I'm gonna put some aloe on. I've been actually getting a lot of sun ever since Italy, but in Greece I got tons of sun, and then today in Barcelona I got even more sun. Okay, so Victor, he likes VeChain. Dutch Local says he likes ETN for the mass adoption. Thank you guys for crushing up those likes, by the way. We're at 77. This video keeps on pumping out there. Do you guys want me to keep going, or what's going on here? What do you guys want to talk about? We're at that 20-minute mark. We usually, kind of chop it up till 20-minute mark, and then we kind of turn it over to the community, and we just go back and forth with coins. IOST. I hold a little bit of IOST. I'm thinking that I am not really interested in talking about IOST because I'd rather talk about IOTA than IOST. I think that they've got a lot of work to do. Sarah from Altcoin Buzz Lady says, yes, describe Bitcoin in one word. One word? Future. Yeah, that's one word. You didn't give me very many. What do you think about Ripple having an IPO? Will it be positive or negative? Okay, so first of all, is it been confirmed that Ripple's going to have an IPO? Where are you seeing that it's been confirmed that they're going to have an IPO? All right. Sarah said, oh my God, that's what I said. Altcoin Buzz ladies. Crypto is the new 401k. Oh, don't talk to me about 401ks. I don't think 401ks, no, don't compare crypto to 401k unless you're trying to make mockery of crypto. Like 401ks, I don't think that's a very good investment. But people love their 401ks. I'm like, dude, you'd be better off taking whatever you dumped into a 401k and investing it into like real estate. Like real estate is no joke a great investment. I was even tweeting about this a couple days ago. I said precious metals are still, I mean, gold and silver, like people are not very excited about gold and silver. Why? Because gold price has just been flat, literally flat, like staying pinned around 12 to 1300 for like 2 or 3 years. People don't like that because there's no volatility. But as far as a store of value, gold for thousands years, gold, silver has been a, a very good investment. So gold just kind of what stands the sands of time. So, I mean, I think that you'd be better off investing in gold than a 401k personally, but many financial advisors at banks would disagree with that. Okay. But I don't do 401. I have a little bit of a 401k, but I'm not too thrilled with it. Okay. Okay. G20 in July expectation. That's a great question. And one thing that we know about the government is they never show their hand. We never know what they're going to do. We never know what they're going to do, and that's the thing that's so disheartening about that is there's no transparency in government. And just when you think that we're going to go left, they could go right. Just when you think that they could crash the whole thing, they've 3 days later said something so positive that you're like, oh, I got hope again. Then 5 days later, they say something so negative they're like, it's like the market goes down again. So, I mean, with the G20, I mean, the best that we can hope is that they see the same thing that we see as the masses. Like we're the early adopters, but we're the masses. We see the utility in internet money, internet cash, uh, digital cash. We see the utility in that. So, I mean, let me see if I can open. There we go. Got a little bit more light in here. It's getting dark in Barcelona right now. Is this live stream coming in clear? All right, guys. Crush up the likes if you guys got this. Marcus says gold not used in industry anymore. Mining tech have improved. Amount of gold is going up and the price is going down in long term. The I see what you're saying. Like it's gold mining technology is just so sophisticated. It's easy to just extract a ton of gold and it's affecting the price. But the thing is that gold just for a long-term perspective, gold is still considered a store of value, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, it's not like there's unless we find this like giant vein of gold in Australia or in like Cambodia or something. Like, I don't really think they're gonna find that much gold. Like, I mean, if I watched the Alaskan, that thing they had on, I think it was History Channel, where they would do the gold mining. I mean, they weren't pulling out that much gold. Like they would be like having little jars like this, and they'd be like, "Oh, today's gold." I'd be like, "That's not a lot of gold." So I mean, you can get one full gold coin that matches that. What? What? Okay. C says, not to mention ethics. There could be more gold, but it would cost too much to mine. The point is that gold has been a store of value and a currency for hundreds of years, 1,000 years, right? So gold is not a bad investment. It's just a very boring investment. What do I think about Monero? I think Monero is a really good coin. I mean, I'm very excited about Bitcoin private, but if we're looking at Monero, 137, $2.2 billion market cap. If privacy coins end up becoming a thing, which they could, this is another thing with the government. Like the government wants to know how much money you have. They want to know how much you spent. It's like when you go to the airport. One of the things that they say is don't take too much cash with you. If you have more than $10,000 in cash, you got to claim it. Well, why? They want to know what you're doing with your money because I guess they want to know if you're going to use that to buy drugs or do some crazy stuff with Libya and like I don't know, do something with Mexico and traffic humans or something. I don't know why they have their reasons why they want to know, but those same reasons don't just go away with privacy coins. Like then the privacy coins become the enemy of the state. So it's one of those real sticky situations. So I like cheap privacy coins that have a lot of run left in them, and Bitcoin private fits that idea. Bitcoin Success says Altcoin Buzz, more than 1,000 cryptocurrencies have already failed this year. The coins have failed for many reasons, including true abandonware or outright scams. Yes. It's the okay. So about scams, sure, there's scammy people out there. I mean, I see it. I mean, we all know scammy people exist, right? Like it just happens. Like scammy people they're like snakes, right? They're snakes. We know snakes exist in the grass, but for the most part, it's. I think a lot of these projects they had this ambitious thing that they just couldn't live up to. It's like that friend of yours who talks a big game but can't when it comes down to it, they can't really put their money where their mouth is. That's kind of what I see in cryptocurrency more than scams. I see a lot of people who just bit off more than they could chew, didn't realize what they were getting themselves into. Like uh, Ember Coin, that's one of the perfect examples. Like they were just kind of existing. They didn't real they weren't prepared for a big pump that could put them on the map. And then because of that, they just kind of collapsed. And now they're kind of like whatever. I mean, I don't even know what they're called right now. But the point is that people bite off more than they could chew all the time. I mean, it's like people get themselves into debt that they can't pay, right? So um, I think that's more so than scams. I think that's what we saw is a lot of blockchain projects that thought it was going to be a whole lot easier than it was, and then when they realized that when it wasn't easy, when the going got tough and they weren't tough, they got kicked to the curb. And I think that's what happened with a lot of projects. But there is definitely probably some scams in there. Uh, People looking for easy money. I'm sure those exist, and they those will piss people off. And if we knew who they were, if we could separate them from the people who just bit off more than they could chew, that'd be real easy. But it's never that easy. Preston says, "Go to Restaurant Goria there." All right, Preston, I'll check into that. I don't do price predictions. Many YouTubers shilling scams for money. That's not right. I don't know if they're shilling scams for money. Like, so shilling a scam is like being in cahoots with that scam. Like, they're like, so a coin comes to you and says, "Hey, look, we're not really doing anything serious. We got this plan that's gonna collect a whole bunch of money, but we don't really plan to deliver. Like, do you want in on this?" That's a scam, right? But if a project comes to a cryptocurrency YouTuber and says, "Hey, we've got this. Read our white paper. See if you would like to review it." I don't think that's a YouTuber being in cahoots with a scam. Okay, if that project ends up being a scam, that's not a YouTuber conspiring against his audience to scam them. But if that coin is just an outright scam, tells the YouTuber that this is a scam and that they're going to collect a whole bunch of money through that scam, that's premeditated scamming. That's premeditated, right? That means that they're planning to scam people. That's premeditated, okay? If a YouTuber reads the white paper, everything looks legit, does the review, and then that coin comes out that it's scamming people or just running away with the money, I don't know that you can hold the YouTuber negligent for reviewing a coin if they didn't know that it was a scam. If they know it's a scam and they proceed with it, that's a scam. Okay, that's two people premeditating a scam. But if the YouTuber also gets scammed and just so happens to make a video to his audience, that's just bad luck. And it sucks for everyone involved, including the YouTuber and the people who also invested in that. That's my take on it. Can you talk about the pump in key and holders that got dumped on? Well, that was obvious. Someone mentioned to me that the key went up and then it went down. I mean, I was like, hello? That's people were saying, "Oh man, should I buy at 3 cents?" I was like, "Wait, it was just under a penny. And you're asking me if you should buy right now?" No, heck no. It's like Ethos. People want to buy Ethos now because they rolled out the wallet. Well, where were these people 2 weeks ago? They knew that the wallet was coming. We didn't know exactly when because they've been putting it off, but you know, you don't just invest in pumps. So if like you guys got to get in the habit. If a coin's just rising and soaring and it's like crazy up, like if you look at a chart and it's like this all of a sudden, if it was like this and then it's like that, don't just try to FOMO. That's FOMOing. You guys forgot FOMO exists. Like it's one thing to FOMO when it's going down, right? Like people are like, "Oh my gosh, Bitcoin's at 5,500. I've got to buy Bitcoin. It's not guaranteed to be this low for that much longer." That's a decent FOMO. If you're FOMOing when things are going up, so like if a coin was at $1 and it goes to $3 and then you're trying to buy it thinking that it's going to go to $5 because it just went up to $3 and it looks like it's a promising project, you're FOMOing at a high. And people, we could tell this, I am not done saying this because people are new to crypto. They'll always be new to crypto. And even people who've been doing this for a while will FOMO. Heck, I've even had the tendency to FOMO myself. And that was happening. Verge, for example, Verge used to be well below a penny. Like it used to be below like 0.001, right? And then it went up to a penny. And then I was like, so I was buying Verge as it was like shooting up, but then Verge ended up going to like 18 cents, but I had bought it at like just under a penny. But it went up to 18 cents. So I had reason to believe, because the market was so irrationally high, that, but so then Tron did the same thing. Like, remember when Tron was like well below like a penny, and then it went up to like 1 cent, and then it went to 3 cents, and then it went up to 28 cents. I mean, so we had historical data that would suggest that if it started to go up, it could keep going up, 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 right? But that's again, that's wisdom. You get experience and you see how things like that kind of happen, and you look back on it. And right now, I mean, we're still in a very boring, bearish kind of market, and usually that's a pretty good time to buy coins, especially ones that are flat or looking a little bit low. If they meet your requirements, they've got great leadership. They've got you see the value and the utility in their coin. The leadership has a track record of sticking with things. They don't just give up on the first time things get sour. And you believe in the crypto market. That's a really big thing. If you don't believe in crypto, you shouldn't keep putting money into crypto. Like, I keep buying more coins because I still believe in digital cash, digital currency. But if you're on the fence about crypto, why are you still putting money into crypto if you don't even believe in crypto? So, and I think that's kind of that's one of the things that McAfee does say, that regardless of if he's been drinking or whatever he's on, that does make sense, is like, guys, have a long-term forecast where this market's going. Does it make sense? Yes, it makes sense to him. He says, yes, it makes sense. Now, I just agree with McAfee. McAfee doesn't influence my opinions. He doesn't influence my buys either. Although I like academics when it's really low, because I know McAfee likes it, and this and that, and just he does have a point. And I like Patient Tory way back when, and I've liked Dentacoin, but I don't like academics when it's going up, up, up. But I like it when it's real low, when it's selling off. Yeah, I mean, it goes back to that whole buy low. But you've really got to get your consistency with just buying low. And that's when things are boring, is usually a good time to buy. I mean, why? How has that been proven wrong anyway, right? I mean, even I bought Bitcoin at 8,000. I'm not upset about buying Bitcoin at 8,000. I bought Bitcoin at 6,000. I've bought Bitcoin at $400. Okay. So obviously I'm way up on the Bitcoin that I bought at 400, and I'm down on the Bitcoin that I bought at 8,000. But that's just being consistent, and not being scared to put my feet in the water. Like when you go surfing, there could be a damn tiger shark or a great white shark in the water, but you still get out there because you want to ride them waves. But it's the fear of the unknown. Are you going to get it? Like, some days you might get tossed around by the ocean. Maybe cut your foot on a coral reef. But you still get in there and you do the dang thing, even though you don't know what's lurking below you. And then you have the people who stand on the beach and don't do anything, right? They don't even get in the water because they don't know what's in the water. So, it's just, and usually you're not going to become Kelly Slater by standing on the beach watching Kelly Slater. What's up, Dutch Local? I didn't hear about the peep coin. I mean, see, he says, where's the explosive diarrhea guy? I don't know. You guys just like me saying that guy's name, or what? What do you think of Encash? People hating. I'm not invested in Encash. Never have been. still cryptocurrencies, and I like a couple outside of the top 10. I already talked about them. SafeX. I like Bitcoin Private. I've stayed pretty consistent over the last 3 or 4 months of how I'm handling this bear market. But I know there's a lot of YouTube communities out there that keep diving into these new projects, and people keep diving in with those YouTubers, and they keep ending they they ride the pump, and then all of a sudden this big sell-off happens. And it's not because the crypto YouTuber is trying to scam you. It's because that crypto YouTuber just makes cryptocurrency videos, saw an opportunity, doesn't really know what he's doing, talking to a whole bunch of people who are watching his channels, and everyone's getting caught up in a pickle. But it's like going out to a bar and, like, just some crazy stuff popping off at the bar, right? Danny Trio says Jeff likes Bcash. Well, I told you, um, I do hold some Bitcoin Cash. He says you need some women jumping on the bed. Yeah, that would be fun. Do I like constellations? Is that a coin? Is there a coin called constellations now? Wait, are they calling a coin constellations? Thanks everyone who crushed up the likes. Look at that, 114. We're pumping them likes. 241 viewers. Yeah. What? Wax. Yeah, I like wax. I still like wax. Wow, what's wax at right now? I mean, it pumped the other day, and people were like, "Oh, I'm going to buy wax all of a sudden." Well, uh, why buy the pump? It's back down to 12 cents. But I mean, you buy the dip. And we could stress that all day, every day, but people will still buy the pump. They love those pumps. They're like, man, it's at an all-time high. I'm going to go buy. Dude, no, I'm not interested in talking about Hexcoin. Not interested. What about Vertcoin? Oh, Vertcoin, man. Vertcoin used to be the bee's knees. I used to love Vertcoin, but I don't know what's going on with Vertcoin. That's one of those coins that I got into that's just been tanking, tanking, tanking. I mean, it's an MIT project, for goodness sake. Like, you'd think that this MIT project would have some velocity to it, but it's just. I mean, it was once an $8 coin, and now, I was buying Vertcoin around $3, $4, $5, right? Now it's just 94 cents. I guess it's a good time to buy Vertcoin if I really believe in it. But at the same time, there's so many other coins to take a look at. Vertcoin's not very high on my radar, but I think it could be something at some point. I've always compared it to Litecoin, just a cheaper version of Litecoin. Anyways, guys, thanks to everyone who cranked up them likes. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, I've been in the sun, David. You're right. I've got hey, I have no shame in my game. I got my faux Sachis. Okay. Look, I bought in Macau, which is in China, I bought a pair of Ray-Bans for $200. I lost them. When I first went to Thailand, no, Singapore and then Thailand, I went on the floating market tour, and I lost my spy glasses. Those were $200. I love spy glasses because I can get the purple lens, the purple and gray lens. But I lost those, so I was like, dude, that's $200 glasses that I've lost. So I was in Pisa, right? This dude from Africa comes up to me and he's like, "You want to buy some glasses?" I was like, "How much?" He tells me, "How much you got?" I said, "All I got is €5. It's like $7." He's like, "That's all you got?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Well, all right." So he gave me some faux Sachis. I was in Pisa 1 month ago. I still got these faux Sachis. They work for real. And either that or the real Versace's. But People ask me what my top coins are. What are you talking about? Igor says, smash that like button for Jeff for everyone. He is here for us. Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, I mean, that's part of the reason why I can make more videos if we get more turnout and people coming in here being supportive and like actually being like hospitable, being cool. It's just who wants to show up to a party if people are going to be cranky and frustrated? But obviously, you guys are all awesome. But I'm just saying, there was a time where people were getting a little bit cranky. I mean, I don't like when I guess I get pretty disheartened when people make up lies and then try to spread lies. Like I get why celebrities, and I'm not a celebrity at all. I'm not saying that, but I get why celebrities get so frustrated with people who make up lies, like just things that are not true. Like imagine if someone said that you eat shit, right? Poop. And you're like, I don't eat poop. And they're like, oh yeah. And they go out and tell everyone in your college class that you eat poop. And you're like, no, that's not true. And then everyone just starts talking about it behind your back. You don't even know what's going on. And next thing you know, everyone thinks that you eat poop. And you're like, that's a lie. It's just not fair. It's a lie. It's not true. It's not cool. So that's one of the things that frustrate me, I think, about just gossips and, the internet in general is exposure to like fraud, just liars. Man, David, I have no idea if we've hit bottom. I don't. I really don't. I mean, it does. All I can do is look at where the price is. Right, like the whole thing of trying to find bottom is pointless. Like another thing that's really been surprising me lately is all these people who take pride in stop losses. They're like, I just stop lost. Okay, so you invested, it went down, you lost money. So you're proud because you invested, you put a stop loss in, and you took a loss. Like no, that's not something to be proud of. I get it. Stop losses have been effective. Bitcoin, you sell Bitcoin at 10, and then you enter back in at 6. But a lot of these people who are taking stop losses, they don't have the creativity or the insight to even buy back in at 6. They'll say it's still not close to the bottom. So if you're going to do stop losses, you had better be experienced. Otherwise, maybe you should consider holding or not investing at all. But if you're boasting about how many times you're taking stop or doing stop losses, like I'm sorry, that is not good. You're just racking up tons of L's. Can you do technical analysis? Well, what's so hard about technical analysis? I mean, you look at the chart, you can read a head and shoulders, you can find out where the low was, you can look at a 6 month low, and then you could say, well, this is where it was at its low within the 6 month range, or you could look at a yearly. I mean, technical analysis, I don't really need to get too involved in technical analysis. I'm not trying to day trade, and I'm not trying to project these prices. But technical analysis is really not very hard. It's basically looking at the lowest point of where the price was, finding the resistance, and then and the support, and kind of just balancing it out. But you don't really need to know technical analysis to um, see where the market's going and if you believe in the coin. I mean, technical analysis only gets you so far. If technical analysis was the magic formula to success, then every technical analysis would be hired working for Bear Stearns or not Bear Stearns, Merrill Edge or um, Goldman. I mean, if that's really where it was, trust me, the Goldman, all these companies, they want the best of the best. If technical analysis was the secret sauce that works every time and was the cue to the corner pocket, then those people would not be making talking crypto. They'd be working for Goldman, and they'd be in an NDA, non-disclosure agreement. They wouldn't even, and it's nothing's guaranteed. It's like you just can't guarantee anything, and technical analysis gives people false hope, I think, or false anything really. Explain Fibonacci. Well, I mean, Fibonacci, to explain Fibonacci, you'd be better off watching the History Channel documentary on Fibonacci. I think even So Fibonacci is basically the laws of nature, right? They always use that shell, and they say that you see everything goes in cycles, right? And everything works in sequence. And even if you talk to like some religious people, they'll tell you that Fibonacci laws apply. But when you try to apply the laws of nature to economics, I don't necessarily know that Fibonacci's uh, there's no guarantee that Fibonacci or Elliott wave is it's something. It's something to look at, but that's about all it is to me. It's not the secret sauce, in my opinion. The secret sauce is the due diligence that takes place in the market, on the projects, on the teams, and on the programming aspect of everything, and just staying the course. Hard work, really. That's the secret sauce. Is focus. Is Are these people focused? Are the programmers behind Bitcoin focused? Are the programmers at Ethereum focused? I mean, more that's more to me than Fibonacci or Elliott wave. Igor says TA doesn't work in crypto because big manipulation. Well, that's a whole nother thing. I mean, even if you talk to some of the top traders of all time that have written books that know TA, they all say the same thing. They say people take losses. I mean, it's just the way it is. Like it's a cool thing to like be known for. And on Twitter, we've seen some of these guys. They people get all excited because they'll see someone scalp $100, $200 profit in 30 minutes, this and that. They get excited. They want to know how to do it. People take a stake to claim. But I mean, we don't know what losses they take also. I mean, sure, they might be 70-30, 60-40, telling you that they love you and that they care about you and they don't want to see you get screwed. But have they ever talked to you? Have they ever met you? They're just plucking your heartstrings, trying to get your attention so you follow them, which is cool. Whatever. They got to do what they got to do to, you know, do what they do. But at the end of the day, Ty Lopez. What about Ty Lopez? Anyways, guys, crack up those likes right there. People only tell you the best side. No one really making it in this market. Yeah, no one. I'm not making it in this market. I've watched my market. I've watched my market value come down significantly. Like I told you guys in previous videos, I was up a lot. Now I'm most of my value in my portfolio is from the stuff that I bought in June through October. That's where most of my value is because that's when I really started buying a lot. But obviously, I'm up significantly on the Bitcoin, the one full Bitcoin that I bought in 2015, 400 and something. But hey, Jeff, love your work. Help me make a fair bit over time. I love you sexually. Okay, dude. I hope you're a girl. And if you're a guy, I'm pretty confident you're just kidding. That was funny because there was a time when altcoin buzz we were really hitting home runs like all the time, and we were all as a community really relishing, and those who sold probably made a lot of money. But I always told you guys even then, like, no, I don't. I'm not taking any credit for any of these gains. Like, you don't owe me nothing. Like, we're all just hanging out, talking crypto, and we're riding this wave. I mean, if you go on to be a pro surfer, you don't owe me nothing. We're all in the water trying to ride these damn waves. And then when it goes down, don't be blaming me either. I mean, it's just the way it is. Andrew says, I remember when you had the squeaky chair. Oh, that's funny. Oh, how cute. I remember when I was part of Altcoin Buzz. Just kidding. I'm no longer seeing Ty Lopez advertising on YouTube. Oh, Ty Lopez will come back when the market's up. It's just when market moon, right? When thunder and lightning in crypto. I mean, I'm so tired of saying moon. I'm just going to start talking about thunder and lightning because thunder and lightning is a whole lot more relative, and it's a whole lot more electrifying to me. Like when I think of power, I think of like thunder and lightning. I mean, shoot, man, and that's the electric that we want to see. That's the injection of electricity we want to see in this market. Is just like just a bolt of energy into this market, and that'll carry us, right? We'll see, but I'm not. I'm over the word moon. I'm looking for operative words, new words. Do I support George Soros? No comment. SEC ruling when? We'll see. I mean, it's impossible to predict the government, especially the SEC. Like they're toying with this. Like part of it's like there's no transparency with the SEC at all. That's just that's it's it's kind of mean, right? Like it's kind of mean. But to their defense, they could say, "Well, we're uh, we're waiting to. We need to collect more. We need to do more research to collect more data on how this market. We need to understand who the scammers are. We need to understand what's been going on. What's the nature of this market? How it really works. Maybe they, who knows? Maybe they want to shake out weak hands. I even got this old man friend, 73 years old, 72, 73, which is funny because he's the same. You guys all know George Bush, Bill Clinton, and Donald Trump are all 72. They're all the same age. They're all born in the same year, which is crazy, I thought. But this guy's also 72. The only reason I mentioned that is because I said, hey, you were born the same year as George Bush, Bill Clinton, and Donald Trump. Anyway, and he was telling me that his whole conspiracy theory about how the people who really control the money, they don't want anyone else. They don't want the little guy to win. They never have, never will, this and that. And I was just like, okay, I don't want to hear this right now. What? Alex says, what will be the first coin to overtake BTC, if any, Jeff? Um, okay, so obviously I do not know, but I would say that based on what we saw Ripple make a real strong push at it. We saw Ethereum make a real strong push at it. This happened. They called it the flippening. You guys might remember back in December timeframe. Uh, yeah, and Bitcoin Cash. They were even saying that Bitcoin Cash almost. There was a time where, like, for a couple days there, where they thought that Bitcoin Cash was going to overtake actual Bitcoin. It was short lived, but we there those were the three coins that really made a push on taking over Bitcoin as a top dog. And some people thought Bitcoin was vulnerable then and still is, but it was Ripple, Ethereum, and Bitcoin Cash. So it's possible that the fork of Bitcoin Cash, could overtake it. I don't know. I think just the fact that it has that extra word, Bitcoin Cash, like it's just easier to say Bitcoin and keep it simple like that. But we'll see. I don't think Bitcoin Cash will overtake Bitcoin, but if Ripple keeps their nose clean and stays straight, I mean, it's possible because they have a high circulating supply. Uh, Part of me wants to say, like, low key, Stellar has the potential. Cardano. Um, Out of Asia, you have some projects still fairly a lot of centralized. No coin is quite as decentralized as Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin is pretty much the most decentralized coin right now. Like Ripple is very centralized. Bitcoin Cash, for the most part, is centralized. Uh, Litecoin is decentralized, but unless Charlie Lee's been a wolf in sheep's clothing this whole time, saying that Litecoin will never overtake Bitcoin, blah blah blah. It's possible. I mean, it's the only other coin that's decentralized, really, like Bitcoin. But Ethereum, I would say, if I was to answer that question, I would say probably Ethereum. Ethereum probably seems like the one that could probably have the best chance of overcoming Bitcoin. All right, guys. Well, I got to get going. And thanks to everyone who's been tuning in and crushing up the likes. And we'll see you guys next time. Check me out on Island Hopper TV to all those of you who like to travel. Island Hopper TV on Twitter and on YouTube and on Facebook. I'm making videos too. See you guys.